So there's Biden on the campaign trail. You don't see that very often.
Yeah.
Clearly, Bidenomics hasn't worked. They're going to lean into promises made, promises kept. So your life's better than it was because of all the things we did. We just haven't explained it to you well enough. That seems to be the pivot they're trying to make. We'll see if it works.
Let's bring in Shannon Bream. She's the anchor of Fox News Sunday. She's also Fox News chief legal correspondent. Shannon, good morning to you.
Good morning, guys. And by the way, my hometown is a state capital, Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, there we go. We knew that one. We knew that one.
Shannon, we want to ask you about the border. It's the border bill that's somewhat bipartisan, at least at this point, although there's a pushback on Senator James Langford from Oklahoma within his own state GOP. What do you think is driving? There's a change in rhetoric and seemingly dedication, at least in their words, to doing something about the border, the Biden administration. Why? Election year?
Definitely. I mean, the polling is terrible for them. And when you have Democrats, your own party out there publicly calling you out, mayors and governors, there's a ton of pressure on the White House. And they know that on that issue, which when we were in Iowa and New Hampshire and our polling showed, immigration had become #1 for voters. But voters also say they trust President Trump to handle it much more than they do President Biden. So they know they need to do something on this now. So you heard President Biden last night saying, if you'll just give this to me, I will sign it. I will immediately shut the border down. Well, that's got some Republican critics saying he already has things he could do right now to shut the border down. They're not enforcing current laws. Why would the GOP give him cover now for this? And that's where that split within the GOP is happening.
Absolutely. Here, Shannon, here's Biden and Trump yesterday on the campaign trail talking about this issue. Watch.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. A bipartisan bill would be good for America and help fix our broken immigration system and allow speedy access for those who deserve to be here. And Congress needs to get it done.
The so-called border security deal Biden is gushing out and pushing out is not designed to stop illegal immigration. It's designed to continue the invasion of America while sending billions of dollars to Ukraine and other countries. I'd rather have no bill than a bad bill.
So is this an issue that the White House really thinks they can lead into and gain advantage by talking about this bill?
Well, here's what a lot of folks think is going to happen. The House has said pretty much what they know of the Senate deal, and we'll push Senator Langford on this morning to try to get, because there's so many rumors, can you give us an idea of what's fact, what's fiction? But the House says what they know is dead on arrival. So if it's going to fall apart, well, the president is out there saying, I can't wait for this bill, bring it to me, sign it, I'm going to shut down the border and solve all these problems. What they'll then turn around and do if it falls apart because of Republican infighting is say, we wanted to get something done, we went to the table, and yet Republicans said, no thanks.
Shannon, there's also this big story related to the UN, this UN organization, UNRWA. It's a Palestinian relief organization that the United States funds. It gets funding from countries around the world. And it turns out that there's an allegation that 12 employees that worked for the organization also took part in some capacity in the October 7th terror attacks. The allegation is that one of the employees potentially housed one of the hostages, and others celebrated while teaching children in school. Now, 9 countries, including the United States, have suspended funding for UNRWA, but this is funding that the Biden administration started up again after the Trump administration paused it. So Biden administration officials are going to have to face a lot of questions about this.
Yeah, Carly, you're so right. This is shocking, but it is not surprising to a lot of people who say, we have been tracking, you guys have covered it, I've covered it, Fox has covered it for years, that there are real issues with this agency. They're in a lot of schools. Are they teaching kids to hate Israel? Is it anti-Semitic textbooks? I mean, we've dug through this stuff.
For sure.
There have been allegations for a long time, so there have always been questions about why U.S. tax dollars should flow here. Now, people do have hearts. They want people within Gaza who are civilians to get aid, but you got to ask the question, is this the best vehicle for doing it? Congressman Mike McCall is on with us, chair of House Foreign Affairs today. He calls this appalling, as many other people do. So how do you figure out that thread of assisting people who really need help versus funding people who clearly have a break with what our policy is on Israel and beyond?
You're exactly right. You can have a heart, but you better have a brain, too, and realize you're funding the propaganda of an entire generation through a UN agency that's working with Islamists. It's insane. Shannon, what do you have coming up on Fox News Sunday?
So, Chief GOP border negotiator Senator Langford hopefully gets some details on the deal. And Senator Rick Scott, who's been opposed to what he knows about it so far. Also mentioned Congressman Mike McCall, Texas Congressman. We'll talk about the border. We've got brand new details on articles of impeachment. And also NATO Secretary General is going to be here with us to talk about foreign policy as well. A lot of hot spots around the world.
All right, Shannon, we'll be looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Shannon.
See you in a bit.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.